Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome into a new episode of The Luke Kelly Show. It's episode number 69. Nice. We finally made it to the most sex-filled podcast. I wish episode 69 fell on a Wednesday, but it doesn't. It falls on a day where I'm doing the show all by myself. Just imagine how much extra smut you would get if episode 69 was on a Wednesday. Can never happen again. Maybe episode number 169? Gosh, that would be a long time away. Who even knows if I'm still doing a podcast for 169 episodes? I'd be shocked if I still am. Actually, I will. I enjoy doing this podcast way too much, just like I enjoyed the weekend that I had, pretty much just running around getting for the holiday season. It's so crazy how the holiday season is fastly approaching. Only a couple of weeks away from stuffing your face with a whole bunch of nasty Thanksgiving food. Yes, I said nasty Thanksgiving food. Don't worry, I'll have that on an upcoming episode of The Luke Kelly Show. I kind of touched on it a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Christmas and how it's a whole season and stuff like that. Just not a big Thanksgiving food guy. That's all right. I'm more of a pizza guy. That's who I am. At the root of everything, I am a pizza guy. And I think I've started to perfect Friday pizza. If you've been listening to this show, you know Nora and I have pizza every single Friday night. And the reason, just out of pure nostalgia, that's what I did as a kid. Always had pizza on a Friday. So I wanted to start something a little bit different and make it homemade. On Friday, I think I made the best looking pizza that I have since we started Pizza Fridays. You can check the picture out on my Twitter at Luke Kelly Show. I've been tweeting up a storm lately. I don't know what's gotten into me. I'm just feeling it. But that pizza looked fantastic. And it was good too. I'm not going to say it was great, but it was good. It was one of my better homemade pizzas. I'm trying to perfect the dough because we have a 15-inch pizza pan that we use in the oven. One of the pizza stones, I don't know if you've ever seen it. We got ours from Pampered Chef. And when I started making pizzas, the dough was a little bit too big once I would stretch it out. It would be more like 17 to 18 inches for a pizza. So I'm trying to eliminate some of the ingredients from the pizza, not like 50 grams of flour here, 50 grams of flour there, a little less yeast, stuff like that. So that way the pizza is not as big. So I could have a perfect size pizza for that pizza stone when it cooks. Still not there yet. Pretty darn close on Friday. That's why it looked pretty round. There's been some weird shaped pizzas ever since I started Pizza Fridays. If you've ever attempted to make homemade pizzas, you might find it pretty frustrating to make a perfect round pizza. It's not like it is whenever you order takeout. When you order from your local pizza place, you see that thing and you're like, damn, that is a perfect circle. How do they do it? I ask myself that all the time. How do they do that? How do they achieve that perfection? Maybe I need to get a device so that way I can have the perfect round pizza. The sauce is getting a little bit better too. I actually want to start making my sauce a little bit more homemade. I've been using some cheat steps, okay? I've been using a jarred marinara, but making it a little bit thicker with some tomato paste, putting more seasonings in there. It tastes pretty good. But I think next step in order to elevate Pizza Fridays is getting a good homemade pizza sauce. And once I achieve that, I might open up my own pizza place. That would be the dream, to open up your own pizzeria. I would do takeout only, though. No dine-in. And I would be open Friday through Mondays. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off. Friday through Mondays, balls to the wall. slinging pizzas. Pizzas and maybe like a couple of appetizers. But I wouldn't want to get away from having all these different crazy menu items. Like I wouldn't even want to have salad at the pizza place. I know some people like a nice antipasta salad to go with their pizzas. No, I don't want to have the overhead of all the lettuce and stuff. Pizza and maybe wings. Pizza and wings. That would be badass. No breadsticks. And the only reason why I wouldn't have breadsticks is why would you want to eat pizza and then basically another form of pizza with it? I need a little variation. That's why I never choose breadsticks. Nora will get crazy bread from Little Caesars, but I'm never eating it. If I do, maybe one piece. That's all I'm having. I would rather save all that goodness, flavor from a pizza, not a breadstick. Just not me. Now, wings, on the other hand, pizza and wings go together better than beer and pizza. It's an undefeated combination. Jordan and Pippen couldn't even beat the pizza and wing combo. That's how good it is. That's how superior it is. Try out Pizza Friday for yourself. If you don't feel like making pizza by yourself, you don't think you're skilled enough to do that, order takeout. Just participate in Pizza Friday. You don't want to cook on Friday anyway. If I ever start making a whole bunch of merch, I think the first shirt that I should make should be Pizza Friday. It's fitting for this show. It really is. I don't know how many other podcasters out there support Pizza Friday. Here I am. I love pizza. Could eat it 6 days a week. I was actually hoping that Nora would screw up dinner tonight so that way we could order pizza. And we just had pizza on Friday. Told you it was a good weekend, not only because I was eating pizza, but because of the amount of Christmas stuff I've been able to do. I got the Christmas tree up. I felt great about it. Got all the ornaments hung up, the lights on, and the basement is nice and cozy. Whenever you put your tree up, do you feel like it elevates the room? We have one in our basement, and once we get back from visiting family for Thanksgiving, we'll go and get a real Christmas tree to put upstairs. But there is so much hominess that is added once you put up a Christmas tree. Makes a room look better, makes your house look better. You put the tree up with a nice little ornament all over the place. Perfect color lights. You're able to achieve a good look for your home. When I'm in the basement, I don't even turn on the lights down here now. All I do is just throw on that Christmas tree. Has just enough lighting for me. And it makes me smile. For whatever reason it is. It's the reason why I love this season, probably. I wish I could have a tree up all year round. But I can't. Feel like house visitors would judge me for that. Would you judge me if you walked into my house and I had a Christmas tree up in July? Yeah, probably. Now, if I had a big house, if I would have won that Powerball last week and I would have had a big-ass house, I think I would have one room that's dedicated to Christmas. So that way, whenever I get stressed out, I could just walk into that room and just decompress. Smile. Looking at Santa Claus, Christmas trees, elves, snowmen. What more could you want? That's pure happiness in one room. Although I do have to say, the fake Christmas tree that Nora and I have in our basement might be on its last leg. We've had this for 5 years now, and it's starting to show its age. It's looking a little worn down. And when we went to Hobby Lobby last weekend, we saw a whole bunch of trees that were 60% off. But I'm like, I can't justify spending money on a Christmas tree right now because of all the Christmas presents that we have to buy. Don't have the money for it. That would have been another good reason to hit that Powerball last week. Everybody could have gotten gifts that they really wanted. Instead, I have to be the poor man still and make good, rational financial decisions. If I had a lot of money, I would have bought a new tree. I would have bought a lot of new things. One thing that I would have probably bought is that house that I said I would have put a new room in there just for Christmas all year round. I would have probably built a good theater room in there. A good theater room to sit down and watch Christmas movies. I've watched a Christmas movie every single night since the last time I spoke to you, which was Wednesday. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Always watching Christmas movies. Doesn't matter if it's a Hallmark movie or an iconic Christmas movie. I wanted to start out the holiday season watching the Home Alone franchise. This is my biggest takeaway from Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. And I know you don't really need to put Home Alone 3 into that franchise set. Because, I don't put Home Alone 4 and then the latest Home Alone that was put out on Disney Plus last year. I don't put that into the Home Alone franchise. But for some reason, that third one, I always throw in there. Home Alone 3 deserves a lot more respect. I need you to go to Disney Plus, watch it, and see for yourself on why I'm saying Home Alone 3 deserves more respect. Max does an excellent job. As a kid that's homesick from school, dude has the chicken pox. And he's fighting off criminals that are coming after his chip that's in that toy car he has. What were you doing when you were homesick with the chicken pox? You were probably eating chicken noodle soup and watching The Price is Right. I know I was doing that. And some old WWEs that I got from Line Video. That's what I was doing. I would have curled up in a corner if someone was trying to get in my house like that. The whereabouts this kid had. No one ever believed him what was occurring in their neighborhood. He was accused of falsely dialing 911 like 3 times. Cops showed up. They couldn't find anyone inside of homes that he saw people in. And rightfully so. He saw people in there. The storyline is good. It is there. Max is a good actor. And I actually think Max had a good run as a child actor at that time. He was good in other movies as well. You know who else was in that movie? Getting their start in the industry? Scarlett Johansson. She was in that. She was really good in that movie. It was kind of a cameo experience from her, but the lines, the affection that she had for her brother in that movie, even as big of a pain in the ass he was, you still saw the love there. If you have younger siblings, you know younger siblings are a pain. And you always torture them. That's just your job of being a sibling. I don't know what that's like because I'm the youngest. Nobody likes me in the family because I'm the youngest. But Kevin, has some competition with Max. I talk to my coworkers about this because they understand, well, I shouldn't say they understand, they know of my obsession with Christmas. And I told them, hey, I'm starting to watch Christmas movies. And I had the conversation in the office. I told them, look, you need to start respecting Home Alone 3 more. I said, I watched it last night, and it's good. One of my coworkers said, no, it's not. It's not that good. It's a decent movie. And I said, no, the movie is good. I said, if Home Alone, and I want you to think of it this way too, if Home Alone 1 and 2 were not around, and the first Home Alone was Home Alone 3, you would say it's a good movie. But you fell in love with Kevin McAllister in 1 and 2, and your mind won't accept Max being a new person in this movie's history. You don't want him there. You think it's cheesy. It's not cheesy. That's what Home Alone is. Home Alone 1 and 2. They're both cheesy. They're kids' holiday movies. And I think another reason why I like this movie a little bit, the mom in Home Alone 3, she's a babe. Way better than Kathleen O'Hara in 1 and 2. I like how the mom was a ginger, though, in 3. You got to keep that trend going. The soulless moms continue leaving their kids at home. But at least this mom had a good reason for leaving her child at home. She had to go to work. The other mom from Home Alone 1 and 2 was just a bad parent. Didn't know where her kids were at. See? Home Alone 1 and 2 is flawed. Don't even bring 3 into that conversation. The third one is good. It has a better storyline. You can relate to that, right? There was times in your childhood your parents had to go to work. You were sick. What was there for you to do? You had to stay home by yourself. It happened to me a couple of times. That's why I say Bob Barker in the WWE was my babysitter as a child. So I watched Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. But I also watched the first Santa Claus. And I want to watch Santa Claus 2 and 3 because next week, or this week actually, on the 16th, the new Disney Plus show for the Santa Claus starts. There's going to be 2 episodes released on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that. So when I was watching Santa Claus 1, it really makes me frustrated watching Tim Allen. Scott Calvin is the character that he plays. Santa Claus is the character that he plays in the Santa Claus. How much he hates becoming Santa Claus. How much he is fighting becoming Santa Claus. He is basically Santa Claus already. He works for a toy company. It's kind of funny the way that they did this. Scott Calvin, Santa Claus, a guy that delivers presents for a living. Scott Calvin, the guy that works for a toy company who roundabout delivers toys to children. I think Scott Calvin should have accepted the fact that he was becoming Santa Claus a little bit faster as soon as Santa fell off the top of the roof. I don't know how you felt about Santa as a kid. I loved the guy. I thought he was fantastic. If someone would have told me you can become Santa Claus just by having Santa Claus fall off your roof, I would have pushed Santa off the top of my roof a long time ago. As long as I wouldn't have gotten arrested for murder. As long as I could have still taken on the responsibilities of becoming Santa Claus. Travel around the world delivering toys, putting smiles on kids' faces during one of those magical periods, magical period time of the year. It's great. Why wouldn't you want to do that? But I think Santa Claus, Scott Calvin, should have just been a little bit more accepting at that time of becoming Santa. He really did embrace it for a while. He still kind of fought it for a little while. Didn't understand why he was becoming fat and shaving and then all of a sudden having his beard back. Dude, it's Santa Claus. You can't be Santa and be skinny. You can't be Santa and have a clean-shaven face. You gotta have a beard. You gotta be fat. I would accept those things if I was Santa Claus. Be like, listen, everyone wants me to be the jolly old Saint Nick, the chubby guy with the big beard. One thing that you're known for other than delivering presents is eating the cookies that are left behind from children that make those for you. Good old chocolate chip cookie, oatmeal raisin cookie. I would love to eat one of those. I can't wait for cookie season. That is coming up. All break rooms across America are about to be filled with cookies. And you're about to eat all of them. Although there's some people that I know that don't eat food that is brought in from coworkers just because they're like, I know how dirty and messy their classroom is. Their home life is probably just as chaotic. Their kitchens are probably just as dirty. I don't trust anything coming out of their kitchen, which is valid. I could get that. Me, though, I ain't passing up no damn cookies, especially Christmas cookies. Not happening. Glad I got to talk about those movies. I love those movies. Those are classic Christmas movies to me. Now, there are a lot more classic Christmas movies out there. Like A Year Without Santa Claus was on TV the other day. You know, the claymation one. I turned it on. Nora had no interest in it. Broke my heart. Those claymation ones are gold. So good. So good. And a guy that has to spend a lot of money this time of year on Christmas presents because he has so many kids, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon just announced that he's going to be having another kid. This will be baby number 12 for Nick Cannon. Think about having that many children. All that child support he has to pay. That's why he needs to keep working. He's never going to be able to retire. He has mouths to feed for years to come. 12 kids. It's like the Duggar type shit right there. That's TV show stuff right there. It's bizarre. Like, I see this family on TikTok that has like 12 kids, maybe 10, whatever. Still double digits for kids. Anything more than 3 really is a lot of kids, especially this day and age. And if there's someone that's able to afford to have a lot of kids, it is a celebrity. They're getting paid millions and millions of dollars. But man, it can't be easy. No matter what, celebrity or not, where you're making a ton of money, has to be tough to be able to balance all of that. And the 12 children that he has aren't all with the same mom. So co-parenting, probably a struggle for the dude. The relationship that he has is probably different with each lady. How many does he have with Mariah Carey? I don't know. I was always jealous of Nick Cannon, though. Dude was married to Mariah Carey. If you're about my age, you grew up seeing Mariah Carey on TV all the time. You're like, oh, she is fine as hell. And then you see the dude that you watched on Nickelodeon, on all that, end up with the lady that you always found to be very hot. You're like, oh, God, I want to punch that dude. How did he bag her? Like the age difference. Why couldn't that be me in that scenario? That's what you know, like if you were 12 years old and you knew that's how life was going to eventually play out, it's like, what does Nick Cannon have that I don't have? I mean, if he has 12 kids, he's got to be packing. Like, there's not that many ladies that are going to pursue things with him unless he just has a massive hog on him. Those inner circles within Hollywood have to be like, Nick Cannon, huge dong. Sleep with him. Same thing with Pete Davidson. People have to know that he's working with something very impressive inside of his pants, and that's why all these ladies end up hooking up with him. Because I don't think he is the most attractive dude out there. Some of these dudes have really good personalities. It just shows what good personalities could do for you if you have money. If you have a good personality and you don't have money, you are SOL. You're just going to be that ugly dude that keeps on losing. Keep on taking L's your whole life. Get a little money, though. You would have won that Powerball. Guess what? You would have been A-OK. You'd have been slanging. That's what you would have been doing. All this slanging talk is a good time to kind of end the podcast because I'm sure we'll be talking about slanging something on Wednesday's episode of The Luke Kelly Show because my wife, the lady that reads a whole bunch of romance novels, smut tales, she's stopping by with a brand new smut tale for you on then. Thank you so much for showing up today. I'll talk to you on Wednesday here on The Luke Kelly Show.